hope you had a good day. I didn't get any really good images yesterday. Again, if anybody wants to have images also on a constant basis, then I will share the Dropbox folder. The idea of a Dropbox folder is that I will deposit images in there, so it's like a letterbox, okay? And so it's not a one-off thing, so do send me your email. Many of you already have Dropbox. I will fill the Dropbox as we go on and remove the old pictures, put new ones in. So whenever I have something interesting, those are for non-commercial use and for your pleasure. You can definitely go print them large. If you need any special permission from me in order to get them printed, I'm willing to do that. It should actually be no problem to get them printed. So, very good to see you all here. Thank you for all the emails. Just wanted to say I got some interesting emails. One of them was from a person called Chris, and he rightly pointed out a few things for improvement. One was that not everybody is in the chat, and if I do respond, I should at least mention the question and not just respond. I think that's a very valid point. I will do that. So in future, I will read both the questions and comment that this is from the chat group, and then I will answer accordingly. I think that's a very valid point. And the other one, if I could please clean my lens. I was, of course, smiling. Cleaning the lens is not the issue. I mean, that's not what causes some spots sometimes, as you see them. Let's just have a look at the background. You can see the background is fine now. We should actually look at the completely blue sky if there are any spots there. It's really a matter of cleaning the sensor. Cleaning the sensor is not something that's straightforward. I do it myself. I just did it before we left. One has to do that very, very carefully with special, with some special devices. It's not difficult to do. Many don't dare to do it. I do it myself because it's irritating to have spots on there. But anyway, they have gone, so it should be a lot better now to see. So that's just the answer. It's not the lens. It's just some spots there, and of course, they can be removed and they can be dealt with. Fortunately, the wind is not as powerful today. I have some exciting news, at least for myself. You see, my dream equipment is to be mobile and to be able to be set up in about 5 minutes. At the moment, what I'm doing is I'm carrying around a PC here, I'm carrying around a monitor, a mouse, a keyboard, and so on, which is really irritating. And I did find today that there's actually, they call it a dongle. A dongle is a device that you just, it's a type of stick that you put into a USB port. What's exciting is there are HDMI to USB port dongles. Well, that's not the normal dongle that you buy, at Best Buy or similar. This is a special one because it's meant for input, not for output. So it has to have a proper conversion and be able to do with a stream. Well, they've just been released a few months ago, and they are compatible with the software that I'm using now. So I'm super excited. That means probably that as long as I have a powerful laptop with USB 3 output, I can just put these dongles in there and be on the go, which is fantastic. Just open a laptop, stick in the the HDMI cables from the camera, and off I go. That's super, super, super exciting for me. Really exciting, because the laptops nowadays are very powerful and they have everything you need. You can use it as a monitor, keyboard, everything's integrated, webcam, mouse, everything in one small device, very easy to carry. Just put the HDMI in. The camera can run on its own battery or external power. Oh, I'm really excited about that. So that's definitely the good news from White Rock, at least for me. Very nice. We've got a wonderful evening again, and yeah, I hope you've had a good day too. Do send in messages if there's anything you would like me to add. So let's see how many viewers we have today. Oh, we got already 23. Well, welcome to everyone. And welcome to everyone who has not been here on the show. This is me. I'm Christian Sasse, also known as Sasse Photo. I'm broadcasting here on behalf of the Hancock Wildlife Foundation, mainly David Hancock, of course. and all the volunteers that are affiliated with the organization. Webcams have an interesting history, you know, as long as there's nothing happening at the nest. Let me give you a little bit of background, what I understood from webcams. It's really interesting. I think David Hancock should tell you the story once, once himself. But let me give you a very interesting briefing on that. In 2006, long before we had the technology that we have now, and the technology has rapidly developed in the last years, it was actually Richard and David who revolutionized, or I would say pioneered, the webcams with eagles. And they, at Hornby Island, that's on Vancouver Island, at Vancouver Island is a Hornby Island, and there's a nest there, an eagle's nest. I don't know all the details. What I do know is they actually implemented the first camera. Was a lot of work at that time. Technology was not as far as we have it now. So quite a lot of pioneering. They managed to do it, and within minutes the whole internet was completely saturated. You know, the bandwidth was saturated. And then he actually went to Microsoft and he got more bandwidth. It's a marvelous story. And you were talking, and also those bandwidths were saturated in no time. It was the first live broadcast. And there was simply, all the servers were saturated. You were talking about millions of viewers here, millions. Isn't that amazing? It was like a virus, and really exciting that such a thing could happen for wildlife. I just see a hummingbird flying around here, wonderful. Anyway, really exciting. And now, of course, in the meantime, a lot of webcams have evolved all around the world, and it's become very exciting. So it's become a lot better now. And but at the same time, of course, the expectation from the viewers have increased, and any type of intermittent running is really irritating. Unfortunately, that's the problem that you have, that so many webcams are running, and they take a lot of volunteers, a lot of looking after. It's a lot of work. So you also have to appreciate that. Well, again, now I'm doing a minor, nothing like what Richard and David did, but I would call it a minor revolutionary step by introducing the live broadcast, and I hope it'll expand to many interesting things. I've got Christopher Rao yesterday. He's the osprey photographer, and I've pasted this beautiful osprey image catching a fish on my page. I've shared on Sasse Photo on Facebook, and you can have a look at it. So some exciting things really going on. I will interview him in a month's time when he is less busy with his job and photographing. I'll also try and get hold of other photographers and biologists, and I think we're going to have an interesting time. And I mostly look forward to having a really mobile system, getting rid of this system that I have now and really being completely mobile, able to broadcast from anywhere. That's the most exciting. Okay. Anyway, we are lucky we have this beautiful location here, overlooking the nest, of course, and as you can see, not much happening at the moment. Very, very quiet still. But it's a lovely evening, and let's hope that at least when I build up the camera, it takes me about 15-20 minutes to build everything up here. I would like to reduce that to about 5 minutes, and I think it's possible with with the equipment I was describing before. But they're very quiet at the moment. The wind again is blowing towards me, which means that if they do practice their flying or skills or their wing skills, they'll be facing away from us. It's not possible to go on the other side simply because the wind is blowing. This is where the equipment is, and we're in certain ways restricted to that. However, hopefully it won't rain over the weekend. I'll try and come here also in the mornings and to get another angle. In the morning it can be very, very exciting here too. Anyway, it's lovely, as you can see. If you look behind me, you're looking out here on Boundary Bay, and you can see I'm looking directly into the US behind me. Much milder than it was yesterday. If you look at the waves, you can see they're moving towards me, which means the wind is blowing this way. And that means that the eagles will fly that way, okay? And it's important when you do photography always to consider where you stand with the wind. Okay, try and have the wind in your back, if possible. I mean, you cannot always control that. I mean, sometimes it's not possible. But if you're on the beach, try and move towards to having the wind in your back, if that is possible, because that means that the eagles will take off towards you, just like an airplane will, into the wind. Okay, so wind at the back. And the other thing, of course, is to watch out for light. In the morning is the best time, because you can see in the evening now that the sun is coming from the west. Okay, and not favorable to go down to the beach now, even if we had low tide, which we don't, simply because unless you have a kayak or so. I won't risk my equipment, by the way, on a kayak, but unless you have a kayak, it's going to be very, very difficult to get a good view towards the beach. But in the morning it's beautiful, because the sun is coming from the way I'm pointing now, from of course from the east, and the light then is very favorable. In the evening the light is better for the nest, okay, simply because when you look at the nest, it's getting illuminated from from behind me, and that means if we're lucky with the wind one day, they will be flapping towards us. Also, of course, it's very favorable if the wind does stop, then they will, they'll flap in whatever direction. By the way, got some sound back from the train, so I'll just stop. Okay, time to continue. Anyway, for those who have just joined, it's a very good evening to you here in White Rock, and we hope that we can see some of the eaglets tonight. And I've got a beautiful 800mm lens pointing at the nest. I only have one camera at the moment pointing at the nest. It's simple. It's easier for me to build it up in the evening. Takes less effort. I can of course put a second camera up, but I will do that if I have time during the day, and there's more to see. There's not much to see in this direction. That's why I'm sitting in this direction, so that you can, that the webcam can talk to me and can also look behind me at the same time. Yeah, you can hear some complaining up there. They're hungry. Yesterday evening we had a lot of midshipmen coming in. Let's hope that we see something similar tonight. I have no idea how many midshipmen came in. Maybe someone in the chat knows how many midshipmen came in. Anyway, also hello to Danny from the chat group. For those who are listening from the chat group, welcome to everyone. And for those who are not in the chat group, I'm reading sometimes messages from the chat group, so I will try and repeat those questions so that you don't get confused what I'm talking about. So Danny also says hi. Danny, I just wanted to tell you that I'm really excited. I found a very, very interesting solution today to be mobile. They have dongles for an HDMI to USB 3 converter. I found them that's fully compatible with the software that I have. I've just written to an expert for some more questions, clarifications. Price is very feasible, and that would make me completely mobile, which means I just open a laptop, have the HDMI, the to USB converters in the back. They're approximately, they're very, very small boxes. They can hang directly from the laptop, and off you go, and that solves all problems. No more carryings of computers, mouse, keyboards, and so on. So I'm really excited about that. I could be up and running in 5 minutes. So, and also it seems to be, that's really my question, that the audio stream can be separated from the video stream with that with that dongle. So really exciting stuff. Very, very easy to get that solution. Seems very robust, and yeah, that would mean that in 1 or 2 weeks one could, as soon as one orders that, one could convert that. Exactly. Danny is asking a question here. Then all I have to get to worry about is if they get unplugged. That is his question. Yeah, what happens if they get unplugged with HDMI? Well, Danny, I have a very nice solution for that. I found that they have right angle HDMI connectors, and as soon as they're right angle, the problem goes away simply because of your force. Okay, the force is always usually in direction of the cable pulling. What I can do then is I can take one of those plastic fasteners and just fasten it around on the camera with a right angle HDMI converter, and at the back of the laptop, similar with a if you have a right angle connector, you can do exactly the same. It's much easier to control, even to if you were just to use duct tape or something, much easier to fasten. So I think there are going to be solutions for everything. That's the good news, and I'm really delighted about that. Yes, Danny is saying that one has to be very careful with the force exerted on the circuit boards, especially when one plugs and unplugs. That's completely correct, and it can be very damaging. And that's exactly why I believe that the right angle solution is a good solution, where one can at least apply force in the direction of the the plug. So I'm very positive about it. On a PC, it's not a problem because you can actually take a small, when you have a small screw, you can tighten some metal to that. But on a laptop, that's not so easily possible. But I do think that's much easier to solve now than the current situation. Very little to worry about and good solutions. So very exciting. And also, if I do go up in a bucket lift, it'll be a lot better, because we have a bucket lift here, by the way, which is really exciting. Don't worry, I don't go right next to the eagles and wave at them when I go with the bucket lift. It's not like that. The bucket lift goes up to 45 feet. The nest has a height of about 130 feet, so there's a huge difference, and also I have a huge difference in distance. I do not disturb the eagles in any way. In fact, they don't care about me one bit. They fly sometimes very close to me. I think they know me by now. So nothing to worry about. I certainly don't disturb wildlife, and I think for those of you who do know me, I'm very respectful of wildlife. Okay, I seem to have a disconnection here from my laptop, so I'm not clear still whether I'm online or not. If someone could just quickly tell me if I'm still online or not. If I don't receive a response, then obviously I'm not online. Oh, I am online. Thank you very much. Sometimes my laptop doesn't, gets disconnected, and it's just the way it is. So it's difficult to say. I do see from a stream here that's from the encoder that I'm supposed to be online, but I'm only really online when I get verification of that. So that's good to know that I'm still online. So we're still waiting for something to happen at the nest. So I'm glad you can hear and you can see the cams. That's very good. I'm in my advert routine again, so once I plug that, I see the adverts. By the way, I did want to tell you that if you go on the Hancock Wildlife Foundation site, there is a link now to an offshore camera, which is very interesting, by the way. That camera is on a buoy. That's a marker. Just if you look behind me, more into that direction. I don't want to rotate everything now. I don't have that flexibility. There's a buoy that was installed, that exists out there, and a webcam was installed there a few days ago by David Hancock's team. running off a fuel cell. And do look on the Hancock Wildlife Foundation on the camera, on where it says live cams. You will find a link there. It's really interesting because I was looking at it before and I saw an eagle there. You do see camerons on there. You see all kinds of ducks there. Very, very good pigeons, of course. Very interesting to watch that. I don't know if it was Ma there earlier. There was definitely a bald eagle out there. Very, very enjoyable. Yes, if you're in the chat, there's a link that's given in the chat group right now. Other than that, it's very easy. Just go on the www.hancockwildlife.org and look for the cameras. Okay, I'm sure you'll find them. Still very quiet there. So not much going on. So do stay here and let's hope they do come. Something's going to happen. Just a matter of patience. I do see some flap. I just saw a wing there. Just complaining, that's all. I just saw on the chat forum, if you do go onto that webcam that's on the buoy, right, that's a PTZ camera on the buoy, and you will find the link on the Hancock Wildlife Foundation website, hancockwildlife.org. There's a gull there now, so it's fun to see what's going on there. As we found out, eagles do land there, so it was a very good idea to install a fuel cell there to run that. I got a beautiful hummingbird surrounding me all the time, buzzing around, flooded with sunlight here. Very, very beautiful. So it's a wonderful evening here. So maybe they're going to wake up. Maybe we're going to be greeted with a poop. Definitely some flapping going on. I just want to once more explain to you, I am sharing a Dropbox folder with everyone who's interested. Send me an email. I'm going to put my email in there. Maybe a bit difficult to read. Let me just change the font to white. No, that's also difficult to see. It's really difficult to see. But anyway, yeah, that's better, I think. sassefoto@gmail.com. If you send me an email, I will give you the link to the Dropbox folder, and that Dropbox folder will be a folder where I'll be adding images of the two eaglets, Jules and Indy, and hopefully some. I already have 3 photos in there that are fairly nice, and I'm sure they'll get better with time. And so you don't always have to email me. Once you have that link, you keep that Dropbox link, and I will just fill it as new images come in. As long as you take them for non-commercial reasons, you're allowed to distribute them, enlarge them, and so on. As long as it's for non-commercial reasons, I'm very happy if you do that. I mean, we do want to spread the good word about our eaglets. Okay, I'm going to just walk over to the camera now and see if we can get a better view. Okay, as the evening progresses, I will try and get some better images. See if this is completely in focus. I must just have another look. It doesn't quite look in focus. Okay, that's better. That's definitely in focus now. That's good. Actually, very clear image. I'm broadcasting, by the way, just for information, at 500 kilobits per second. I've slowed it down a little bit because I think that may give a smoother stream. I'm also streaming at 30 frames per second. If you do lose the stream occasionally, don't worry. Just reconnect. It does happen occasionally that one loses the stream for whatever reason. But we do have a beautiful view at the moment of what I think is that Jules. I don't know if anybody in the forum can see that. A question there was in the forum here was whether it's possible for me to connect via cell phone. The answer should be yes. If there's good cell phone connection, I should be able to go to other places. That's exactly why I want a laptop, because a laptop with these HDMI dongles should solve the problem of mobility, and then I can either tether to my cell phone or I can get an external dongle. The streaming quality will not be, of course, as good as the one that you're enjoying now because of the bandwidth. There are solutions where they use multiple dongles, but I mean that's insanely expensive. Okay, I'm not going to go down that route because that's more for professional broadcasting. Anyway, we're getting a beautiful view here. Of Jules. It's very funny, by the way, when the dogs bark, the eagles look at them. They're looking down now. You just saw it. They do look down, and it's really amusing. And they watch us very carefully, so I think they should know me by now. And of course, they're not worried about it. If nothing happens and so on, they actually don't worry about us. And in a certain way, I do hope that maybe they'll take a bath here later. Who knows? I mean, that would be absolutely wonderful. I mean, like 2 years ago, we had Echo and Foxy here taking a bath nearby, and it was really, really exciting. Oh, and by the way, I've been to the hairdresser today. Finally got my hair cut, which is great because I won't have this punk look anymore when the wind blows. Now it'll be more the flat look. But when I get ready for fledging, you know, I will have some more feathers. Okay, but that's in about a month's time. Yeah, I think that's Jules preening and Indy complaining, although I cannot see Indy at the moment. If I do see Ma and Pa, I will definitely let you know. Not even heard them so far, no trilling, nothing. But beautiful songbirds, I'm sure you can hear them. And once I do get the sound going here, it'll be a lot better. I've ordered some parts from Amazon actually to improve that, but That's just another few days, and then it'll get a lot better. And then, as I said, once we get mobile, it's going to be to see the ospreys very, very close. I've heard that maybe the little ones should just be big enough now to look up from above the nest, and would be very exciting to get a look at ospreys too. Well, I should have brought my dinner along, or my wine and cheese. It's funny how I get hungry. At first, when I set everything up, I'm always so excited. Soon after, as fast as I can after work, I try and get here and set everything up so that you can enjoy it. And then I forget, and suddenly I get very hungry. It's the usual problem. There must be a ghost that the dog's barking at, because I see nothing here. Well, I could quickly rush to Starbucks. I might do that. It's only Starbucks is 5 minutes drive, so what I'll do is I'll just put the camera on and just enjoy the view. The camera will run stable on the nest. I'm going to just make it a little bit broader. I'll just go quickly to Starbucks, get myself something to eat, and I'm back in about 15 minutes, okay? So let me just do that. Yeah, so just enjoy the view here of Jules, and I'll just get myself to eat something quickly, and yeah, this thing will run stable unless the dog runs all over it and tears out all the cables, and by that time you'll hear a big bang, and then the whole thing will be finished, and I'll deal with it when I come back, okay? Anyway, enjoy it. So I just thought I can actually write that here. There you go. going to be the next challenge, to run a live broadcast eating without the dog getting everything here, so I'll try my best. Anyway, I'm just going to munch away. No, Bella, no. Sorry, I can't put the microphone on mute here without all the action going on. That certainly stays exciting. I think the broadcast seems quite stable at the moment, which is good. I'm certainly glad we don't have the strong wind that we had yesterday. Am I feeding the dog well? That was one of the questions in forums. Yeah, I'm not. You have to be very careful with a young dog. Gave it a small piece, yes. Seems a lot more happy now. Or at least I get a small piece for some peace. Yeah, that's what you do. But then, you know, they come back like small children do. No more. No. That's it. That's it. No. That, by the way, reminds me of South Africa. South Africa, they have baboons, and baboons can actually become very unpleasant, quite aggressive. Not funny. They're intelligent. They act in groups, and you have to be very, very careful with the way you deal with them, and they learn very fast. So the story there is in Cape Point. That's the most southern point in South Africa. That's where many visitors go. They have a lot of baboons there, and of course some people are stupid enough to feed the baboons, which you should not do, because once you start, it never stops. The same with bears, and they become so aggressive. They actually, they'll put their hands inside cars and so on, and they run up with all kinds of things, with food, with cameras, whatever they can grab. And you have to be extremely careful with baboons. They say don't feed the baboons, and people do. And dealing with a dog is nothing compared to dealing with baboons. I remember when I was in Cape Town, when you're outside. I lived in South Africa for a number of years. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful wine there, wonderful wine routes. I really love the South African wine, actually much more than any other vineyards that you find in North America or anywhere else. I haven't been to Australia, so I don't know about the Australian vineyards, but the South African ones are very, 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 very original, which I really like. As mall, you get wine often for free. They talk to you, they explain everything in detail. Of course, it's commercialized, but far less extent than Napa Valley and so on. There we see a lot of wings now. So South African can be very, very enjoyable, and it's got a lot of beautiful wildlife, of course. I would love to go there one day with my large camera, but I don't quite dare to do that because, the security can be an issue in South Africa too. Oh, let me go back. Excuse me. Let me just go back and see. I think that's Indy there in the back. I'm not sure. Yeah, now they're placed exactly behind each other, so not much to see. Okay, I finished my dinner now, excuse me. So I finished it, so good. Nothing worse than paper rattling in front of a microphone is the most irritating thing there is. So that'll stop now. Oh, by the way, that's one of these ultralights that are just flying by. There's a small airport nearby, and that's where the ultralights come from. Whoops, there it goes again. They must be consuming a lot of fish. Does anybody have an idea how many fish they consumed in total today? I can see in the forum it says 3 to 5. Is that all? Only 3 to 5? Well, it's still a lot, I guess. Depends on the size. There's a question on the chat, whether they can communicate with me on the chat. The answer to the chat is yes. Of course you can communicate with me via the chat. I am Galaxy Gazer. Why am I Galaxy Gazer? Well, because one of my other passions is astronomy. I have 3 telescopes, believe it or not. That's a hobby of mine that are remotely controlled. You can control them over internet. That's a story of its own. That's a lot of that's interesting. It was another passion of mine. Before I started with eagles, now I came down to Earth. Before that, I was light years away. So I was zooming at light speed, and now I'm fledging. So you just go from one next thing to the next. There's a question in the forum, how long will it take until the eagles will fledge? Prediction, July 20th. That's probably fairly accurate, 20th of July. But it's difficult to say. The rate these two are growing. I've heard that they are much further than Lafarge or some of the other nests. Who knows? Who knows? But maybe it's going to be 20th of July or before that. By the way, the Fledge Fest at HancockWildlife.org is on the 13th of July. That's next Sunday, in fact. So it's a big day, and if you still want to participate, send an email to Karen Bills. You'll find her email on the website of hancockwildlife.org. Would be very nice. I will be broadcasting live from there. I think the equipment is stable enough to do that, so you won't miss anything. Oh, there's a lot of flapping going on again. Yeah, I can see on the forum that Echo and Foxy fledged. Echo and Foxy are the two eaglets that were at White Rock Nest in 2012. That was on the 14th of July, and I think these are about a week later, so I think the 20th of July is a fairly good prediction. Okay, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to take a few, a few images, because it's very nice when they flap their wings and the light is very good. I just hope they're facing this way. Now they're facing away again, but there's some biting going on, I think, by Indy there at Jules. Some annoyance there. Stop flapping in my face. Just a quick question, am I still live? I just lost the... oh wow, there's a lot of jumping there. Just let me know if I'm still live. Oh, thank you very much, Danny. I am still live, that's good. Got a response from the forum. That's good to know. I just lose the connection sometimes here on my laptop, which is not important. It's just for me to monitor everything, to see if I'm still live. But it's good to know. That means we have a stable, quite a stable situation. Yes, I just wrote from the chat, I just read from the Eagle chat that there's been a lot of activity of these two going on, that a lot of hovering going on, a lot of wild wing flapping and so on. So as long as the wind is not too strong, I guess that's okay. That looks like my one laptop has stopped, but not this machine. This is constant, so I'm just going to restart it. Cannot see. Not the stream. The stream is stable, so nothing's going to happen to the stream. Okay, I'm just going to try and see if I can get a few images, so I'm going to let you look out at the bay for just 5 minutes because it'll only be to your benefit if I take a few images. I'm going to put them in Dropbox again. If you want to see these images, just send an email to sassefoto@gmail.com and I will happily share these and future images. Just stay linked to Dropbox and you will see, you'll usually be notified when new images come in. It's quite a useful tool to have. Not the cheapest, by the way. They're cheaper tools now than Dropbox, but Dropbox is like certain apps. They're just very popular to use. I think it's free for for certain gigabytes. I won't exceed that limit, so it'll be free for you. Okay, I'm just going to go over and see if I can take. Let's see. Yeah, I want to see if I can take some images. You see that intense look at the moment. It looks to me that Ma and Pa are around somewhere. So I'm going to try and take a few beautiful images. So I'll let you look at the bay now. Okay, I'm back. I got some nice still images that